another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse. I'm my partner Ryan. I'm J-Man, obviously doing this one after the big Thanksgiving holiday. Didn't throw anything at you this past week. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on at work, and obviously Thanksgiving, had a lot of family stuff going on. Got to spend quality time there, get our turkey and everything going on. The great stuff we had there at football and everything. Great day, Thanksgiving as always. Hope you guys all had a great time out there as well. And Thanksgiving, there's a lot of wrestling ties as well. You got the gobbledygooker. Remember that? You got that? The gooker. That's right. And also you have a lot of the stuff that used to happen on SmackDowns when SmackDown was on Thursdays. You had all the food fights and everything. And I remember one especially because my love for Tori Wilson had one Thanksgiving where she had a lot of Thanksgiving stuffing on her.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to do?
What's that?
I'd like to have sex with her.
Just no-sold that innuendo right there. You could have just said, like...
Was I supposed to say something else?
I mean, you could have just said, I like to stuff her. Like, I had a lot of stuff.
That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you say that? You would, like, want to have sex with her, right?
It's like a common, like, I'd like to stuff her.
That doesn't work.
It was there. I think it was there.
All right.
Okay. On this edition of the Pulse, going to give you a Pulse Topix show. Told you we're getting at you with these. We're not hesitating to throw these out every month or so. We're getting fucking with you on this one. I got 3 topics for you as usual. We're going to start out. First topic, we're going to be talking about the AJ Cena Scandal going on with Raw and everything going on. We got the stuff over the past couple months with AJ and Cena kind of doing the whole little soap opera, we love you kind of BS, showed the scenes in the hotels and the restaurants and everything, kind of making it easier for Vickie Guerrero to do things as the GM now. Obviously, AJ Lee, the former GM, and getting at the biggest star in professional wrestling and kind of doing that common kind of angle where you see we're trying to get underneath the skin of that big star and John Cena. We've seen the add-in of Dolph Ziggler into this storyline. We had that situation in that bathroom where they had AJ come in and Dolph just tear her down and slap her, and John Cena came in. They destroyed that entire bathroom in there, which is an interesting little segment there. But obviously, this is all revolving around John Cena and Dolph Ziggler are getting to a match that they're going to be having, hopefully at TLC. Hopefully, we don't get an intergender match where we have to see Tamina in there and AJ and doing all that kind of shit. But we've seen a lot of interesting things. Obviously, this is something they've built up on. We've seen it carry over from not only that, we've seen angles go on with and TNA as well. We've seen Brooke Hogan and Bully Ray start up some random scandal angles and a lot of stuff going on like that. A lot of classic kind of wrestling angles that you see every once in a while in professional wrestling. And bringing in we just have to mention again TNA, just what they set up with their little intros that they set up on their impacts with the kind of soap opera-y. On this edition of Impact, they're doing it on Raw now. In this edition of Raw, we got the more news in the AJCena Scandal. It's like, what is this, TMZ? What the fuck is going on? So it's kind of interesting to see that, just kind of dumb in my idea. But a lot of stuff going on here. It seems like it's going to continue to develop and continue to see things going on further. But this AJCena Scandal, taking up a lot of time on Raw over the past couple months.
Yeah, it seems like they've been trying to fill a lot of time since, they are 3 hours now. Yeah. They've been cramming a lot of different storylines in here. I absolutely love where AJ's at now.
Yes.
Could not stand her as the GM. I know we talked about this several times. Just did not work for her in a storyline like this. These kind of cheating love type storylines, soap opera type storylines work for her perfectly. It's like she doesn't even need to wrestle. She's just there. No. She's an intricate, interesting part of a story. Can talk well, can get people behind her. With the added heat from Vickie Guerrero and this. There's a reason this is the top storyline in all of WWE right now. Yeah. Over what shouldn't be because of Punk being the champion and stuff like that. But with them putting a lot of effort into this, it's kind of developing into a really good storyline with a lot of the stuff they're doing. Hopefully developing into Cena versus Ziggler at a pay-per-view, not an intergender match, which I just see being a complete fail if they try it. We had talked about different ideas of things that they could do with this whole situation. Some of it would be awesome, but at the same time it would kind of not make any sense. We'd love the idea of, AJ's played that character where she kind of doesn't know what she wants. She's kind of screwing people over, maybe her flipping and being with Dolph would make a lot of sense, and then that would get Dolph away from Vickie and have them two together. We talked about Dolph, kind of having this Edge Lita thing going on with before with another chick, maybe Kelly, but she left. Yeah. Obviously that didn't happen, but yeah, I mean it never really happened, and it worked out perfectly with AJ and the way they set everything up, but It just seems like they really want to push this Cena AJ storyline where Cena's not in the main event, but AJ is not in the main event either. They want to use her. It's making a lot of sense, and hopefully we lean towards a good match out of it. The storyline's been built well. I absolutely loved that setup they did in the bathroom where with Dolph cutting that promo. It was a great promo on AJ freaking out, and then Cena coming in. It really felt like, real 90s gritty attitude era. Like we don't see too many of those kind of setups on Raw or anything like that. And what they did on SmackDown, bringing Cena over to SmackDown as well. So I'm actually digging this storyline. I really am feeling it pretty good right now. They need to kind of get away from the whole. At times they make it really cheesy. Yeah. But it's good television at times. But sometimes it's just like the Kane Daniel Bryan thing. It gets a bit much. It gets a bit much where you're like, ooh, that's good, but then you do something and you're like, ooh, that's kind of shitty. But overall, good storyline, feeling it. Hopefully they continue, and we both just want the match out of it.
Yeah, just exactly what Ryan's saying here. I think that's just spot on of how it can get cheesy at times, but I don't think they've really gotten to the point to where it's too much. Because I think it's a good storyline. I think it fits well, and I think it's what Ryan was saying of how it gives Cena something to do outside of the main event, and it's something that also kind of raises Dolph up as well, going in there with John Cena, who's obviously one of the biggest names in the business, and doing a lot of interesting stuff there. As he was talking about, I was saying how awesome it would be back in the day if Dolph was with somebody like a Kelly Kelly and got to see Kelly Kelly as a heel, which I've always wanted to see. I thought she could pull it off, and I thought it'd be really intricate and interesting, facet to Kelly Kelly's character, as long with being with Dolph. It just doesn't fit with being with Vickie when he was with Vickie. Dolph's a guy that needs to be with that young, just hot chick that would fit that character that he is. And I think if they did something where AJ actually, because they set it up to where Dolph is saying how AJ is, wanting to be with Dolph, but we haven't had any indication of that. So it's just kind of Dolph randomly bringing it out of nowhere to put it in our minds that, hey, maybe in the long run we could get something where AJ turns on Cena and goes with Dolph, which I think I would love. I think it would be great, and I think AJ, being a heel with Dolph and going that kind of character, I think would be awesome to see that, and just kind of randomly bring it out of nowhere, which we haven't had any indication of, which could maybe happen, but like Ryan was saying, it's not going to work in the long run with what you need to do with people having AJ and the Vickie thing, and Vickie's going to have nobody to battle up against, and kind of go off and on about Cena's going to have really nothing to do except for what happens towards the beginning of the year once we get towards the WrestleMania time. So, but I do think it would be a way to get Dolph out of there with the win, because I think it's going to be really hard to have Dolph Ziggler get a clean win over John Cena if they end up having a one-on-one matchup. I think they'd probably look for a John Cena win, but if you have that AJ turn, you never know what could happen there. So it'd be a pretty interesting little facet to this storyline. But overall, some pretty interesting stuff, and I'm intrigued to see where this goes into the future. Next up, we're going to be talking about a negative, which is going to be TNA Gut Check. TNA Gut Check has really been useless to us. It hasn't really seemed to do anything, and they've spent a lot of time with developing a lot of this stuff. They sign the guys, they have them go to the developmental territory, come back up, and now you saw what happened on the last week where they had basically all of them come back and compete in matches, and really the overall concept of this to me isn't getting over. You have the three guys come in there and do the whole judging thing, a la kind of looking like a fucking cheap ripoff of Tough Enough, basically, which just kind of looks like to me, which is kind of what looks like they got the idea from, which Pritchard probably could have ended up coming up with that idea. Hey, we have this thing where we brought in some guys that nobody knew about, and then we made them into stars for our company, which kind of what it looks like, but it looks like a ripoff of it. And it just, to me, I'm just never interested in it. Like, I think a lot of these guys can be talented and are talented, but it's just that when you just put it in this kind of presence and you have them come in there in their first match, they're not getting over, they're getting their asses kicked usually by one of the main stars, and you can't really look for anything. They go back and try, well, this guy did that and he sold that well and his character is good and all this kind of shit, when really they're just getting there getting their ass kicked. And to the crowd, especially in the TNA Impact Zone, which all of you know I cannot fucking stand, they're a bunch of fucking retards in my opinion. That concept doesn't get over, so I don't think it's working well. To me, the only person outside of some guys here and there, which I think could end up working themselves out of it, to me the person that could get over the most and could be the most successful is Taylor Hendricks, which is the girl who is a part of it, who I think in a depleted knockouts division could thrive, and a young chick that's she's good looking, she's got energy, she can decently work in the ring, and she's just an alternative to a Tara, who nobody in their fucking right mind wants to see jumping around with dumbass Jesse and her 45-year-old ass that I don't want to see anymore. I want to see some fresh faces and some new, girls in the Knockouts division, which got depleted when you took out all of those, great people like the Angelinas and the Madisons. We don't get to see them anymore. Gail Kim, who's the wrestler of the fucking year and barely gets used. I mean, like, what the hell are you doing? It makes no sense. But there's some guys here and there. I know Ryan will talk about Christian York, who I think is talented, has a good look, and looked well. There's a guy in there, I can't even remember his name. He just looks like Josh Hamilton, just with jean shorts. I don't know. That's what he looks like. I can't think of anybody else. You have the Silva, what the hell's his name?
Something Silva.
Something, whatever. But a lot of these guys, you pay attention to them, and it's just like, they put a lot of effort into something that a lot of people care about. But TNA Gut Check to us, not too successful at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest success story out of this comes Joey Ryan. I mean, Joey Ryan is.
But to me, Joey Ryan looked like he was almost out of, like, it was almost an angle outside of the Gut Check angle, which I think it was.
Yeah, and that I think that worked out, and it ended up being an interesting storyline. Joey Ryan is an interesting character. He can work good enough to carry a storyline and everything and all that whole situation. I feel like I think him, and I don't understand why like guys like Kenny King aren't on the roster anymore. You have all these. You have like Black G's. You have guys like X Division guys who are just really good, but you're doing all these guys who randomly no one cares about. When you put these guys together on the roster, none of them fit in anywhere. None of them, they're just okay guys from OVW. None of them work good. I mean, they're okay, and like you said, just how they put matches together, and they just look okay. They don't ever get any victories. They don't want to make their other talent look bad by having them win. Yeah. It's a complete mess, and it's. To me, I think, they don't really need to do this. I think they're doing it for the reality-based part of it. But I think if you're going to do this, you need to bring in guys that people are almost, somehow known. I think Kenny King is a guy, for whatever reason, left Ring of Honor to come in, and they're not doing anything with him. He's massively talented. Yeah. Jump into that. It was over, too,
when he was in there, too.
Yeah, and you had all this, when you had the X Division, Destination X pay-per-view or whatever, and you had all these guys come in. It's just like, why are you bringing in these other random guys who are in OVW when you have all these X Division guys? You have a depleted, completely blown up piece of shit X Division right now. Yeah. With Rob Van Dam being your champion. Like, what is that? So, to me, it does nothing. I really don't even care about it. Only thing I care about is seeing who they're gonna bring in to do it. Yeah. Christian York is a guy who I've seen for years wrestling on the Indies. With Joey Mercury and doing a lot of things and being in, done some stuff in Ring of Honor years back. A guy who I thought was really talented. He just never got his big break. He has a look. I think he's a guy who could jump into the X Division right now and be completely fine. Yeah. So, other than that, this is just the overall idea is just not working. I don't think anybody really cares. Yeah,
I think the concept of bringing in the new fresh faces is a good concept, but I just think they're going about it the right way right now. But they keep making the effort to bring in these new faces, and maybe it'll start clicking eventually, but right now it's not really clicking for us. Last topic up, we're going to be talking about The Shield, finally getting a name for their group, which is Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, which just Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't remember the guy from Gone in 60 Seconds. I think it was Nick Cage's name. Reigns. Something Reigns. I want me cars and I want me money. Ugh, God, just something Reigns, I think his name was.
I can't get Luther Reigns out of my head.
That's also Luther Reigns, yeah. That was another one that I couldn't get out of my head. But yes, finally getting a name for this renegade group. They're not the Nexus, they're not the NWO. If you want the NWO, go get the DVD. I got it. Kind of disappointing. Big NWO fan, but it's alright. Yeah, but obviously bringing in all these guys that we've been talking about forever, waiting for them and just immensely wanting them on WWE television and finally getting it in an interesting facet. I think this is another, like the AJCena Scandal kind of storyline they're doing here. It's something that really makes you want to pay attention, and for us who have followed these guys for years and years and finally seeing them get to the big time and getting to WWE and seeing them on WWE television and, getting that promo that they did with Michael Cole and seeing Dean Ambrose talk for the first time on WWE television just brought a smile on my face, just seeing like, God, this guy's just been working his ass off, and Tyler was working his ass off to get there, and seeing him cut this promo talking about taking out one of the biggest stars in the company right now is just absolutely awesome to see. As me and Ryan were talking about, not too fond of the name. You couldn't think of something better than The Shield. I mean, where the fuck is Michael Chiklis at? I mean, that's where it's not FX. I mean, come on now. We can think of something a little bit better. What the hell was Shield of Injustice?
Shield of Injustice.
Shield of Injustice. Otherwise, just they're Batman, I guess. I guess they're just Batman.
Seems like it.
But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happened here. They say they're not working for CM Punk. Me and Ryan both on the same wavelengths of we think they're Paul Heyman guys. We think they might be working on being not for CM Punk, but maybe for Paul Heyman, which ends up working for CM Punk because they're all intertwined in the end, which is outstanding. I think we get that kind of playing out over the months to come. We've seen him beat up guys, not only Ryback, guys on main event shows on, I don't think they're on SmackDown, but we've seen him kind of sparingly here and there do a lot of things, and they're saying they're coming in to kind of right the wrongs that's going on here. They didn't want to see him ruin the 365-day title run because of, working in that triple threat because he defeated both guys. So we kind of got the gist of what these guys are about. I think that interview worked out well. At first, when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't think you want this kind of renegade kind of, loner kind of group to be sitting down in chairs talking to Michael Cole a week after they just kind of debuted. But I think it worked out well. They got the gist of the character over. They got them to talk, which is the number one thing I want to say. I wanted to see fucking Dean Ambrose open his damn mouth and get some words out on WWE television because he's just going to compel the shit out of you people once he keeps continuing. And the athleticism of Tyler Black and Seth Rollins, or whatever the hell you want to call him, is going to just play through. And Roman Reigns obviously has a great look and kind of the power guy that I'm not going to say shit about anything. I'm just going to let my actions do my talking. So I think that the gist of this is outstanding. I love the names in it. It's great to see, and it's something that we'd end up thinking of, as we said in the last review. Some great stuff going on right now with The Shield.
Yeah, The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, you got Roman Reigns, you got Bull Buchanan, and this
Michael Chiklis. I mean, just add him
just add him in there. If you don't know what we're talking about, look it up. Bull Buchanan. It's a
spot on,
perfect match.
Yeah.
But
not Bling Bling Buchanan.
No, not B squared or whatever.
No,
C squared, whatever the hell is it. Bull squared. I don't know.
B squared. I think.
I don't know what the hell it was.
Bull squared.
John Cena's tag partner back in 2002.
He's a little confused. He just got back from just a family dinner at Ponderosa.
Like a sweater.
I mean, just
looking fresh.
God, so fly, so
fresh. Very nice. But yes, I absolutely love this. Just the main event, just looking, just damn Bryan, CM Punk, just Seth Rollins,
the
Dean
ending
Ambrose.
of Raw with Tyler Black, Dean Ambrose, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan all in the fucking ring together. It's just amazing.
It's just a masterpiece to behold. Because it's interesting that you can really tell. I did a video like about a year ago. I said at the end of 2012, I thought that WWE is going to have one of the most stacked rosters they've had in 15 years. And you look at what happened on this last Raw. You have Cesaro taking Sheamus to the limit. You have Daniel Bryan wrestling Rey Mysterio. You have all those guys in the main event. You have you're looking at some great talent on this roster that's going to finally get their chance to really shine. Yeah. Ambrose and Rollins deserve it. Punk and Bryan have been there a while.
If we get Cassius Ohno to get there, we'll be good to go.
And Cassius Ohno gets in there, Chris Hero, some of you guys know him. You'll be looking at some beautiful stuff in the future when it comes to wrestling quality. You're going to have some great quality matches.
And for you people, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off again. For you people out there, there's a couple people in the last review that commented and said that, you guys are all talking about all these NXT guys. They ain't going to be nothing special. There's young guys coming in. You're the same people that say the same shit about CM Punk. You're the same people that said the same shit about Daniel Bryan. In a year's time or at the end of whatever's going to be going on here with this group and how they end up progressing with their characters and everything, just wait to see what they're going to be. Because WWE knows it because it's what they're doing right now. Look at CM Punk's year-long title run. Look at Daniel Bryan as one of the biggest names in the business right now. And now these guys debuting and just wait for even more to start coming. You'll see why we're right.
There's a reason why they have these three. For whatever reason, they must have some kind of thought that Roman Reigns is going to be something special.
He's got a good look.
They have something that they think he's going to be something worth a damn. These three guys must be something that they really want to put forth and put these to come up with a faction and have them come out and do this in the title matches and main event storylines and stuff like that is something special to behold. So. Like we said, the only thing that's really just kind of just blowing our mind is this Shield name. I'm not feeling the name, but somewhere down the line it could definitely make sense to some kind of storyline and some kind of fit in. Maybe
Do we have anything off the top of our heads for a better idea right now? I had nothing. I can't really.
Fucking shit.
Yeah. Just TFS.
TFS.
Just TFS. The fucking shit.
Yeah.
For all you out there, spread that, because we'll just start calling them that.
Hashtag
the fucking shit.
So, you guys will see. You're hearing it here first. We've been talking about it for a while now. You're looking at
They're gonna
at least with Ambrose and Rollins, you're looking at two of the top talents in the next 5 to 10 years in
Yep.
WWE. These guys are going to be huge.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
It's right here, Pro Wrestling Pulse.
Boom.
Put it on the damn board.
So, Pulse Topics,
Boom.
knocking it out.
That'll do it. This will now wrap up our Pulse Topic show for my partner Ryan, sweater wearing Ryan. I think he's got to go back to Ponderosa now for dinner. Went to lunch, now it's time for dinner.
Yeah. Maybe I'll find Tyson Tomico in the bathroom.
Tyson Tomico?
Tyson Tomico.
Tyson Tomico!
Tyson Tomico in the bathroom doing
Just
crack.
shooting up heroin or something.
Whatever it was he did.
He's fucking doing something. I'm J-Man, and thank you for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse of professional wrestling world.